Tonight we're going to teach you about medical terminology. I have baby Sinclair right here. He's really mean, but he's only mean to me. He's going to be very nice to you because he's a big fan of yours, okay? He makes things fun and entertaining. He's like just a little emotional support dinosaur, you know? So let's jump into it. There are 4 word parts when it comes to medical terms. There's the prefix at the beginning, the root word in the middle, combining form is basically just going to be a vowel, and the suffix is at the end. I'm going to explain more about the rules of that in a second, but right now I just want to give you some examples. 3 examples of a prefix. Brady means slow, tachy means fast, hypo means low. 3 examples of a root word is cardio, which means heart, gastro is stomach, pulmono is lung. 3 examples of combining form, or rather 3 examples of words that need combining forms is dermatology, etiology, and nephrology. 3 examples of a suffix is going to be pathy, ectomy, and emia. Now, I need to explain to you how to build those terms because not all medical terms have a prefix, but they all have to have a suffix. I personally could not find any medical terms that did not have a suffix at the end. Like, they have to have one. It's crazy. So basically, whatever the root word is, that is what the medical term is going to be about. It's like the tree of the word, the root, if you will, you know? It's like it gives life to the word. So that is the importance of the root of the word. The combining vowel honestly just helps the word flow more smoothly. There are different ways of identifying if a medical term needs a combining form or not, which is that O I'm talking about. I keep calling it a combining vowel, but I just interchangeably say combining vowel when I mean combining form. The combining form is usually just the letter O. If the root and the suffix start with a consonant, then that's when you would need to use a combining form. You would not need a combining form when the suffix starts with a vowel. So gastronomy needs a combining form, which is that O in the middle. Immunology and toxicology do as well. Now we need to talk about how to break the words into their parts. If you look at the root word to see what the word is about, like cardio and call it cardiology, or if you look at the suffix to see what's going on in the situation, what it's about, what it's pertaining to, the prefix will tell you if something is, fast or slow or high or low. And the combining form is only in certain words, as I mentioned before. Some suffixes are confusing because they sound the same, but they have very different meanings, and I need to jump into that. So let's use scope and scopy, for example. I'm actually going to use this example again later, but I feel like it's very important for me to explain now that we can get a little bit better of an idea with this. So scope and scopy. Endoscope is actually what you use to look inside someone, but an endoscopy is the procedure of them actually doing it, For example, as you know, as I've mentioned it a lot, cardio, cardio means heart. I mentioned it earlier, but cardia is where the stomach joins the esophagus. Then there's penia and plasia. Penia means deficiency and plasia means growth. Osteopenia is what you get before it develops into osteoporosis. So if you look at osteopenia, osteo means bone, of course, but penia means deficient, so low bone density. Whereas plasia means growth. So for example, hyperplasia means extra growth tissue. Now I want to define a few suffixes for you. So ectomy and atomy, and I'm learning my pronunciation. I'm trying my best to do my best pronunciation. Also look similar, but they have different meanings. So appendectomy means removal of the appendix because ectomy means removal. Otomy means incision. Tracheotomy means cutting into the trachea, for example. Now I want to talk about gram, graph, and graphy. Okay, this is interesting. So these all come from the Greek word graph, which means to record, which is interesting because if you think about photography, it's recording a photo. Or if you want to listen to your favorite musician's discography, it's their recordings of their music, because disc or disco means music. Now, I want to talk about the term spirogram. Spiro means breathing, and of course, gram means recording. So you are recording breathing. Something that's really fun for me to be able to remember that Spyro means breathing is that growing up, I loved the Spyro games on PlayStation. You're jealous because he's a dragon? Really? Dinosaurs versus dragons right now? Oh my god, I told you guys he's so annoying. I shouldn't have invited him. I should have invited the baby Yoda instead. I don't know what I was thinking. So Spyro the dragon, I loved Spyro growing up. He's a fire-breathing dragon, and Spyro means breathing. So I just think that is a really cool tip and trick to remember that Spyro means breathing. So spirograph and spirography. So a spirograph is an instrument used to record breathing, and spirography is the process of recording that breathing. They all relate to doing the same thing, which is recording. They just refer to different aspects of the process. Earlier we talked about scope and scopy, and I wanted to get into this just a little bit more. For example, a colonoscopy is looking inside the colon, and a colonoscope is the instrument used for this procedure. You will see lots of scope and scopy in medical terminology. There's also tomy, ectomy, and stomy. Tomy is creating the incision. Ectomy is getting rid of something. Stomy is making a hole that stays open, and I'll give a few examples of this. Here are two words that end with tomy. Phlebotomy is basically making a cut in the vein with a needle, or how osteotomy is cutting into the bone. Ectomy is getting something out. Thyroidectomy is removal of the thyroid, and tonsillectomy is removing the tonsils. Nephrostomy. I'm so sorry that my pronunciation isn't perfect on some of these. Oh my goodness, Zendaya. This has been such a learning curve for me, but I love it. It's like a game. Like, this is my favorite class. I love piecing together the medical words and everything. I love it. Nephrostomy is nephrostomy is an opening created in the kidney, and cystostomy is an opening from the bladder. So I hope that these tips and tricks help you understand medical terminology a little bit better, Zendaya. And I know it's tricky at first. You will get the hang of it. Make it fun and silly and goofy like a game. And I really just cannot wait for your man to get better after his accident. You don't want him to get better? Why? Oh my God, he has a crush on you. Oh my God, he doesn't want Tom Holland to get better. No, bad. I really can't even understand what he's saying, but that's good. It keeps us from fighting too much. So anyways, I hope that I helped explain it, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your week.